Good evening, Bobcats fans, and welcome to this edition of Coach's Corner. Boy, Coach, he's something nice. Did you see how many touchdowns we just made right then?
I just watched. I didn't know Mike could find that many touchdowns, but he did. He's put together a new opening, hasn't he?
Boy, Mike, he's excited, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I don't know what's wrong with the man tonight.
I don't know if he got a raise this week or what happened, but he told me that somebody was asking a while ago, says, where are you going? Are you going to your fall this week? He said, I'm going to New York if we go. He said he's going everywhere.
I heard that. They were talking about him at quarterback club tonight and how his finances were improving.
I tell you what, Coach, we talked about last week, we kind of tried to say a little bit about did the people of Op, were they really sincere about this football and, did everything mean as much or didn't know if the Andalusia game really meant that much or not. But I think after Friday night we found out what the people really think, don't you?
I definitely did. When the game was over, you couldn't move on the field. And it stayed that way for, seems like ever after the game.
And one thing we're going to do, Coach, your microphone, you come in tonight, and you beat Andalusia, and Mike gives you a little old, what is that?
I have a gym clip.
A gym clip,
right.
I tell you what, if Mike can't get you a microphone by next week, we're going to go a little higher if we have to.
You think he's using all the money?
Oh, he must be doing something with it, because I tell you, that's something else. But, Coach, Friday night after the game, I couldn't even see you. I went down to midfield, and I was going to talk with you, and they couldn't get to you, and then you went upstairs and all. It was a hectic night Friday night, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And I remember back in the fourth quarter, it seemed like there was about a 500-pound weight hanging. You got to where you couldn't hardly breathe. The tension was so high.
What'd you say about your cap when you come on the field? You told me about that.
I took that cap off, and I thought, mercy, it's hot tonight. And I reached, and sweat was coming down my face, all down my back and my neck. But when it all ended, it's all worth it.
Well, let me ask you one thing now, Coach. On your own about 35 or 40-yard line or something like that, and you're ahead 16-11, and it's 4th down and 1, what you going to do?
Go for it.
I tell you, we sitting over at that stand, boy, and you told me today at lunch that you was kind of worried a little bit about that, wasn't you?
Yeah, but I knew we had to. Ronnie Mosley came in and did a tremendous job, but they didn't know how bad Keith was hurting along about that time. And I figured with all those odds against us, we were just as well going for that yard.
Oh, he wasn't no doubt in my mind. I heard the people around me say, what's he going to do? I said, what you mean what's he going to do? We going for it. I tell you. And I know we're going to go for 2. Boy, just, how many times you say 18 out of 18?
18 for 18, and that includes 2 touchdowns on the same play.
Oh, I tell you what, Coach. It was exciting, though, Friday night, Coach. You want to say a little bit about the game?
Well, the intensity was there when the game started, and the big difference Friday night and from any other ball game we have played all year was at halftime when we made the adjustments, it was total silence. Everybody was listening, they were intent, and when we came back out and we watched the kickoff, if you notice Friday night, we had better coverage on every kicking we had all year. And we backed them up, and we almost got a fumble on the second play of the second half. And we played outside of 3 plays as well as you can play in the second half.
You sure did. Coach, another thing that we talked about, you and I, you talked to me every once in a while down at school a little bit. And last week we talked about did the boys want to win it or, was we afraid of Andalusia and Greenville and some of the teams like that. But I think we've turned the corner now. I think we answered the question Friday night, didn't we?
Definitely. We played as physical as football teams are supposed to play, especially in the second half. I guarantee you, we had some people sore on Saturday, but so did they. That's where it's supposed to be.
And I don't think now, Coach, I feel so good about it. I don't believe our kids now will care who in the world they play. I believe they can beat anybody we play now on our left.
Well, now, that's what we're trying to sell them on and have been. And once you believe that, you've got a chance to win every game you ever play in.
Sure do. Coach, I've been sitting here now for 4 weeks, just kind of wanting to talk about Andalusia so bad I couldn't stand it, knowing I don't need to. And now that Andalusia's gone, we've already beat them, and now I don't even know what to do. I don't know who's on down the line. You know where it is. I got you following down it. That's not even any fun. I don't even have anything to talk about.
Hey, you can talk about you follow all you want to. We'll go to there later.
All right, Coach. You got any other comments about Andalusia before we go in the film?
Nothing other than the fact that we are just so much appreciate the amount of work that the cheerleaders and the band and the student body and the teachers and the whole town of Op. Like we told our players Thursday afternoon, again before the game, they weren't playing this game for themselves the other night. They were playing for their parents, their school, for the city of Op. It just gives people pride when you can go out and put on a show. And once you look at this film tonight, I think you'll agree that it's about as good a high school football game as you'll ever see.
Coach, I know it was. And like you said there, the band, I know it was Mr. Pike Friday night, the band got involved real much with the cheerleaders. And the cheerleaders all excited. And, you know, I got one at home. And, son, she's never been so happy in her life. And I tell you what, and like you said, the whole town. Friday night after the ball game, as you saw, people stayed in the stands. They was there. They didn't want to go home. That's something they, you know, really looking forward to. And we said last week, beating Andalusia more important to go in the state. But now then, I think they've already got that. Hey, that's back out of the way. Now let's go on and see what.
That's out of the way now. Let's go to state.
Let's go to state. That's right. All right, Coach. We'll be back just a minute and get into this ball game. All right, Coach. We're fixing to get into action now. The biggest ball game of the year for the Bobcats. Coach, you hadn't said anything to me. I didn't even ask you this before. It's something new to you. How big was this Andalusia game as far as, not for op, though, as all the big games you've been in before, which I know you've been in state championship finals and all like this, but how does this game really compare?
I told my wife that after all this dust settled about this game, I rank it in the top 5 games that I've ever been associated with since I've been coaching.
You understand now, since you got what op Andalusia ball game means?
Definitely. I felt it riding on the back of my neck.
I tell you what, the people not really, you know, last week we was talking a little bit, you talked to me about it, you know, said, wondering, you know, just, does this ball game, you asked me, you said, does this ball game mean that much? Do the people not really want it, or do our players really want it? And I think at times you may have had question marks because you're new in this town, but I think now that you found out.
There's nothing that I've ever seen that people want more than this game.
You know, we've got some big games with Elba and Greenville and things like that, but Elba game's big. But that's a lot of people try to tell me before, say, well, Elba's big as Andalusia, but no way.
No way. No way. I saw that Friday night.
These old people right here, Coach, these young men came out there Friday night, and like you said before, they was ready to play, and they definitely was not afraid to go on the field and lose.
No, sir, not in the least.
Coach, I just got a message here. Mike Russell just brought in a message that you and Judy are going to be grandmother and grandfather.
That's right. I'm going to be a grandpa. Can't you tell how old I
Well,
look?
congratulations then, Coach. Also, I didn't know about this right then. He just handed me a note. And also, you had a birthday this week. Was you, what, 38?
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Everything happened to you good this week, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It was a great birthday.
All right, Coach, here we go. We get into the ball game now with Bobcats having football.
We moved the football at the first of the game. We were kind of feeling out. You know, it's kind of like a boxing match. In the first of a game, you kind of feel out and try to penetrate the line up and down. That was supposed to have been a pass, and it was covered in the air and ran it. We got a first down. Here's an option play, and it was a tremendous option. As I look back, maybe we didn't run the option play enough.
Tell you what, they had a good play there in the area pitch at last second, and they got a 15-yard penalty out of bounds for a late hit. And so, Coach, we had kept it down there our first 2 series right on the goal line, but, you know, we didn't put it in, but that says a lot about Andalusia. Andalusia had a good football team.
They have an excellent football team, and they are a good hitting football team. This was a big play they had right here. They had our receivers covered, and they sacked us, and we were forced to punt.
Coach, Andalusia in this game here, as far as getting after it and diving, I've never seen as many backs dive as much as they have, and probably I've never seen as many late hit. Look at that. Started out right there.
That's
I've
right.
never seen a team hit as late as they did as many times.
And that was after the ball was already dead, you know. I saw that mentioned in the Andalusia paper, but all you got to do is just look at the film, and you'll know exactly where these penalties came from.
What would the paper mention, Coach?
They said that Andalusia was penalized about 111 yards to about our 40. But most of those were 15-yard penalties, and most of them came after the play had already ended. Andalusia's punting here. And we're just kind of sparring with each other right now. We get away. We feel some later on. Bruce Crittenden almost runs one back. This is a new set, and we had them outflanked, but we jumped offside. I wonder how well the play would have worked anyway. Here's the option again, and we off to a good gain. Like I said, as I look back, I really don't think we ran the option enough. Keith Wise running the ball there, and just pure power, quick hitter. Quick pitch. We came close. stopped a break in that play several times the other night. They took away our counter dive. They did a real good job of stopping the counter dive the other night.
I noticed that, Coach. I noticed that early in the game that our counter dive been one of our better plays. We ran a couple times and you went away from it completely.
Yeah, they had it stopped, so there's no need of banging your head with about something that's not going to work. We had a 3rd and 3 there, and we had the long count. We jumped off sides, and that hurt some. Keith Wise did a tremendous job the other night. Now, this one makes them before Rogers can get there, but he pinned them back pretty well all night.
Especially, Coach, in the 4th quarter.
Oh, when he counted. All right, now, will they get a good gainer out of this one? We were rolling up. There's certain things we had to take away from them. Now, they did pretty well with them, but we came back in the second half and took most of these things away.
There's a great hustle here, Coach.
Long run. This is a play that they had not used before this year. It was a cutback, a fullback cutback, and it was a very good play. Now, they're moving the football right in here. They look strong going down the field on this drive. And we're experimenting with 3 defenses during this time to see which is best. And at the halftime, we settled on one side to live and die with it. And no doubt that Dorsey and Turner and Smith are all good back. That's a good big hit right there. Had a lot of people around that football. I believe Antonio was the first one there. There's that cutback again. That's Jake Donaldson making the tackle.
And a lot of Bobcats on the tackle, too.
Now, that was their option. Grady Smith cut the ball up. He's quick. Forced them to kick a field goal. We felt good about stopping them after they had first down as close as they did, and we got out of this with 3 points.
So Andalusia with 14 seconds left in the first quarter lead. Our Bobcats 3-0. So that running them down on that one really helped save us out of a touchdown there.
Yeah, that made the difference in the game if you think about it. Pretty good field position.
So that's the end of the first quarter with the Bobcats trailing the Bulldogs 3-0. All right, we're fixing to get back into action now in the second quarter. And the Bobcats down by 3.
Quick pitch. That's a good block. That's Kirkland got out and pinned him. We had a good hook by Kevin Hall, and that was Reggie Hightower running the ball. That's the counter dive play had been so good for us, and that's the one we're talking about. We didn't get much mileage out of that play the other night. That was an inside give to the fullback, and they stopped it.
What you call taking what they give you, though, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah, we took what we could get. That was supposed to have been a flood pass, and it was open if we'd thrown just 1 second earlier. This is a great punt here, and we had good coverage. We got anytime you can get them back down inside, and they roughed the punter. It would come with a, man, that's a hit right there. That was Grady Smith hitting Aaron.
Aaron commented on him hitting him too, didn't he?
Well, we got a 15. Yeah, he commented about that. Now, this is our special play. We throw to Keith. That's a good block by Reggie. He throws the ball up, and Reggie Hightower makes a great catch, and we in business.
That's some of our new camera work back there. Technician.
I wondered about that.
You think your eyes were going crazy?
Yeah, I thought something happened to me. Got that in slow motion now. Mercy.
Mike's uptown, Coach.
Yeah, that raise helped him, didn't it?
Oh, I think he may be wanting a raise, Coach.
I don't know which it is.
Coach, this is some kind of catch. Goes up right there, right up. Both of them go, look at there, both of them up there high. I guess that is good slow motion.
Yeah, he did a good job with that.
Great catch.
And almost broke it on out of there. That's the option again, good yardage. Blast play. Now, Aaron did a good job to get a couple of yards out of that play. This is our old two-point play right here. And that wide open in the back of the end zone. He's coming back with the same play to the other side.
I don't believe you're going to make it, Coach. Well, I'd be dog. You made it.
Yeah.
On you, Coach. 8-3, big score for the Bobcats. 7:48 left in the second quarter. Coach, I'm just amazed. I sit here every week and watch it over and over and over again, and I tell you, that's unreal.
It's a triple read.
Yes, sir. I know
It's
that.
a triple
And
read.
the thing about it, Coach, it's so wide open. It's just tough defense.
They got outside our containment. They mount a good drive here. Andalusia had a lot of offense in the first half, but they didn't have. Now, that was one that escaped us. You know, that was a big play. We didn't have a good pass rush in like we're supposed to. They had good penetration there. That's a good hit. A lot of pressure, but they still complete that, Rascal. We had coverage back there, but we just didn't knock it down. Hard running.
He's a good quarterback, Coach.
Yes, he is a good quarterback. You've got to watch him outside. We told William Hines and McTeer every time they lined up, they had to play the boot outside first. And we're going to have the same thing this week. Now, that's good. Ooh, late there, Reggie. Now, this was 4th and 3, and we knew what was coming, and we came down too tight. That was a key play in this whole series. They're ribbing us pretty good right here. We had to make some adjustments on some things we were doing at half. And they worked, thank goodness. They had movement in the line. But they end up scoring and getting 2 out of this. He powers it all the way in. Now they go for 2 of the same play, and they back up 11-8.
2:31 left here in the second quarter. Coach, people get down and watch your film this year, and all of them, it's just everybody's going to say it. We just got to go for 2. They
That's
made
right.
2. We make 2.
I think that's, that may have been their thinking because we're finding more and more people going for 2 against us. That's a great block
bingo.
right there by Reggie Ware. That was a good pass to Keith Wise. I believe we had this pass open right here. We just couldn't quite get it there. We moving the football here. We knew we could move the ball. Had a good screen here. We should have peeled back and got the block, and we'd have had 15, 20 more yards. Great catch here. We're going over the top again. We're there again. We just can't. Just doesn't move.
Trying to field goal, and it's a little short, Coach.
He laying it out deep. Made a great catch with it.
I believe that's the end of the first half. And it is. So the first half, it is 11-8 in favor of the Bulldogs.
They still had to punt.
Tell you what, we really got after the second half. It was a well-played second half. Coach, I know not without any names. I know you want many names, but I didn't see anybody that wasn't really giving effort or didn't play well. Did we?
No,
I'm sure we had some plays, but
we played with all the hardness and intensity we could. I just congratulate the whole group. I don't have anybody to single out. We had a lot of people this week had their very best game ever. And it had to be for us to have a chance to win. And we knew that going into the game. Now we missed a block on the option here. We come into the opposite, different side we usually do. It was there. We just missed a block, and that happens sometime. That's ball was away.
Well, Keith got beat on Friday night, didn't he?
Boy, now that's a good blast play right there. We had two great blocks, and Reggie Hightower, they said he stepped out at 10, but he motored down that side. Watch these blocks here by Reggie Ware and Keith Wise. They cleaned this thing out, and here's our tackle coming down with a good block, driving them back off the ball. See, we're looking for somebody to block. There's a great block, knocked down. And it sprung that play wide open. Now those were physical blocks.
Boy, he looked pretty good on that sideline too. And we all thought it was a touchdown, you know, looked around congratulating each other, and then looked up and they had blown him out. Or said he went out of bounds. I guess right, let's say I can't.
I guess right there. Right there. You can see it.
I heard your wife in there say, yeah, right there, so Coach, she probably saw it better than you did anyway.
That's right. She viewed it the other night. She viewed it several times since then. Now, they penetrated right there. They had a big hit right there.
This is a big play right here.
Yeah, this Kevin Hall makes a great catch right there. Nice Keith Wise on this one. Yeah, big play.
I believe Kevin makes this a 2-point. That was a big blast play there, just
now
big.
We fooled them. We roll with a different play this time. It's old Bama roll here.
Oh, what roll?
Bama roll. This is it. Back from their wishbone days. Fake power near side, pull a guard, and we got two men on this thing open. Aaron does a good job of setting it up and delivering the ball. That was Brian McCall that made the key block. See, we got two open out there. That's Kevin Hall that catches that one.
Kevin did a good job catching the ball Friday night.
Yes, sir. Sure did. We caught the ball well Friday night.
All right, that looks something mighty good, Coach. 5:45 left in the game at 16-11, but at that time you didn't know that would hold up.
No. I didn't think that. I thought we had to get on that board again.
I couldn't tell whether the guy touched that one or not.
He touched it. And I talked to him about it, but it didn't do any good. He touched it. He definitely touched it.
You mean, Coach, they won't listen to you on film?
No, not real good. It bounced off his knee. Still pretty good coverage here. And we up and crowding the football. Now that's the way you're supposed to play the blast play. Here's a sweep. They have a lot of penetration on that. We got people all around the football. Now, we knew what they were going to do when they got in this set. They either throw or run the option. And we cut him off. I believe that was William McTeer that really kept him from getting to that football. That's Larry Rogers, and you know, by this time, poor Keith Ware was so beat up, he could hardly walk. That was a great tackle there. Now, this is where we'll go for it. This is that play you're talking about. Man, we made it by about a yard. We made it by 2 or 3 feet.
No problem. What any problem, Coach?
No.
Hey, man.
Oh, we were moving the ball, and we get a 15-yard penalty for holding. That hurt, you know. That took us out of what we wanted to do. That was smart by Aaron. Just throw it away. That was a great catch right there. They escaped the block. Now, Aaron did a heck of a job there just to get rid of that ball. We use a pooch kick here now. There's a time to go for it and a time to punch it. And this one turned out great. Look at the coverage we had there.
And that's where Grady went out one play.
Man, that's another ball we almost got. That so close.
All right, into the third quarter, and the Bobcats are up 16-11. This is a big one now. Andalusia is backed up. And coaches, I've been trying to sit here and think the whole dadgum ball. I didn't want to ask you to make a fool of myself. But did you see how many first downs did Andalusia make second half? I don't remember one yet.
Well, now they had 28 yards total running the football, and they had 44 yards total passing the football. Most of that came in one play right toward the end of the ball game.
Well, that's right. Yeah, they had that long pass there, but I just can't even remember them.
This is where Bruce Crittenden gets that ball and gets it back down to the 17-yard line. And this is where they penetrated, they broke through and knocked us for a loss right here.
I guess, Coach, we had anything negative all night long.
It was
these three plays right here.
That's right. We had Keith Wives was out of the game this time hurt, and Keith is an excellent blocker, and that hurt. And we were forced in the punt. That was the worst series we had in the whole second half. Another good punt. He came back in, punted that ball, and it kicks it out of bounds down and got them pinned back again.
Inside the 10-yard line. I tell you what, he did a tremendous job punting. And coverage, too, Coach.
Coverage is great.
There.
And we've got to give Ronnie Mosley credit because that's a tough job, too, to go in and have to snap under these conditions. And he did a good job. There's a lot of pressure on him.
You know, that you talk about your snapping, holding, and kicking, and everything else. That's just like anytime you go to field goal or anything like that you see this weekend. Everything's got to be perfect.
It's all got to be there. And I think a while ago I said that Keith Wise was hurt. Keith Ware. It was Keith Wise that got hurt and came back in and played a lot of defense and a lot of kicking in the second half while he was hurt. We had a lot of kids that played hurt in the second half. They forgot about the injuries and just kept playing. That was good coverage. We tipped it away at the last minute.
Get in.
Had a good rush, and he made but I believe it ruled that one was out of bounds.
And he dropped it too, Coach, right at the end. The whole time I thought he caught the daggone ball, and I said they called him out of bounds, but on the film there I saw the ball
Yeah,
on the ground.
ball bounced out of there. We back away and let it roll. We won't make a mistake. But we're trying to make first downs right here and just grind the clock.
We got some big plays, too, some good runs. Statistics don't move.
That is a great run right there. It wasn't a long one, but that was hard running. Now, we didn't get anything out of from this side, but we made a first down on the other one. This is Reggie Ware. Reggie does a good job on his cutback, and they catch him right here. But now we're getting the ball back down in their territory.
Main thing doing, Coach, that clock's running.
We booted on that one, and they smelled it out. We almost make a first down right here. Come up about 2 feet short, but we back down about the 15-yard line, so they got a long way to go. Good defense there.
Here's one of the best catches I've seen in high school.
This was a throwback pass, and we had double coverage in it. He made a fantastic catch. It's a screen pass, and they caught this is a clip right there. It's a clip. The clip was on Antonio. Got the Big Ben play here. Had it well covered. Good coverage here. One in front, one behind.
And this is a big play. Uh-oh, I think our producer slowed her down, Coach.
Look like we're going slow motion. They got them all outside, and they're blocking the right, and nobody picks up Keith Wise, and here he comes.
Bingo. Ow.
Good hit, and that wrapped it up.
How'd you feel about that time, Coach?
That's when I finally began to breathe again for the first time and a half.
Happy people right there, Coach. There's some happy young men on that football field, and I tell you what, they're all happy, but those people coming out there, Coach, is just as happy. You know, that was the time when you said back in the pit rally Friday that you're playing for all the people of the school and everybody else. And, you know, right there, it shows you that they feel like they're part of it too, Coach.
Well, that's what you want. You know, I told the kids at school Monday that it's a process of involving the band and the cheerleaders and the students and the players and everybody for Op High.
It sure does. And I tell you what, right there, as you can see, a lot of happy people. And that right there is what's pretty, Coach. That final score, 16 for the Bobcats and 11 for those people on the other side.
I like that.
All right, then. We got a final score of 16-11, and we'll be back with final comments in just a minute. Okay, here we are back here tonight now, and Coach and I just been talking about it a little bit, and he said, well, we got to forget about Andalusia, as bad as we hate to forget about them, because that's a mighty good subject around Op right now, but we got to let that thing bypass. And, Coach, tell us a little bit about what went on this weekend, what we was kind of worried about, whether we was in the playoff or not, our court action.
Well, each home school is required to call in the game as soon as it's over, so I called in, and the ladies up at Coach Scott's office said, well, you know you have a court case against y'all, and, of course, I did not because it was filed at 6:30 by Connecticut County. And we went on to the meeting on Saturday, and at that meeting they told us that since there were 2 countersuits that it would have to be settled by the Supreme Court, state of Alabama. Now, all precedent cases had always returned the power to the High School Athletic Association. And I knew that if this case went any other way, that high school athletics were in trouble. So about 3 o'clock Monday afternoon, the court system ruled that the High School Athletic Association runs sports and will continue to do so. And you
had a happy man coming out to tell you, didn't you, about Monday afternoon?
2. Mr. Miller and Mr. Power came to practice field to tell us.
You know, that shows you something when the superintendent and the principal comes out there, Coach, it tells you that the people in town are excited and want to know it as quick as they heard they was out there to tell you.
Right. It helped the boys because we went right to them. We called them up out of their drills and told them just put all their effort and time into concentrating on getting ready for you fall and forget about the court decision.
All right, Coach, the season's not over now. We realize that. We know that. It's not over with, and we got to get on to you fall in just a minute. So far, what do you think of your season, or our season? Let me say that.
Well, for the boys' sake is the main thing. We have seen some boys this season that have come so far. There have been so many attitudes changed. And the main thing about sports, along with winning, is the things that you can learn from the game and the attitudes that you have. We've seen some people get tougher and get where they just give themselves totally, and I think we have become a team as one, and that is the thing I'm the happiest about, even more so than the wins.
Coach, you talked about to me a lot this year the things you're looking for out of kids and things you want to develop, and while you're here, some things that you want to develop and bring out of kids. How far are you along? Are you there quicker than you thought you would, or you thought you would be, or how are you standing on that?
We're quicker than we thought we would be. The mental toughness has come 2 miles, and the aggressiveness has come 2 miles. The strength part we'll work on.
You'll get that a little later on. Coach, now let's get on back. I can't talk about Andalusia anymore, dadgummit.
That's right.
Let's go here now and talk about Eufaula. Tell me a little bit about it. You know, Coach, I think that in the last 4 playoffs that we've been in, we've played Eufaula every time, and we've never beaten Eufaula in a playoff game. We've beaten them 1 time in the history of Opp High School, and we have never won a playoff game here at Opp, a 5A school.
Well, I tell you, Eufaula is a good football team. Eufaula played 3 6A football teams. Dothan High School beat Eufaula 12-0. Carroll High School, which is 6A and in the state playoffs, beat them 6-0. And Baker of Columbus beat them 14-7, and their other loss was to Bainbridge, Georgia, by a score of 14-7. They have not had more than 2 touchdowns scored on them in any game this year except in the Stanhope Elmore game, and they had another touchdown scored in overtime. They are a tremendously good defensive football team. Now, I don't know about offensively. I think I've seen offensive teams that were better that we played at times this year, but I compare their defense to Greenville's.
That's all I've heard about them lately is how strong a defense they are. People can't score on them. So we're gonna have to play our good defense again, and then I believe our offense can move the ball, though, Coach.
We're counting on it, and we've got some things up our sleeve that we plan on doing. We always try to have one trick or two in the bag when we can't power them, and we feel like we got to throw the football some.
All right, Coach, tell us a little bit about Friday. Now, what are our plans as far as team leaving, how far it is that you fall, and things like that?
After talking with Mr. Power, and I understand we're going to run school as such till about 1:10. Then we're going to have our pep rally. And after the pep rally, the team will probably leave somewhere between 1:45 up to close to 2 o'clock. We'll pack a charter bus, and we're going to Dothan and eat a pregame meal in Dothan. Then we're going to leave and go on up to Eufaula. We want to get to Eufaula somewhere between 5:15, 5:30. We understand it's about 100 miles from here to Eufaula, and we'd like to get there just in time to stretch our legs and walk around, have some team meetings, and get ready to play. And the way we're going to Enterprise and on to Dothan, and then straight on up Highway 431, because it's 4-lane all the way.
Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of people today at school and all, and they say, well, I said, I'm going to Dothan just to try to stay on the 4 lanes as long as I can and cut through. And they said, well, you're going way out of the way. But then I heard some people say, well, I can get there in an hour and a half, some said an hour and 45 minutes. But it's about a 2-hour drive, though, really, Coach, if you take your time and go safe, like, isn't it?
It is, and the buses always do better traveling on 4-lane all they can. They don't like those back roads.
Yeah, we're going to have a big crowd this Friday night. There's no doubt about that, because it's a big one, and we got our high hopes, and I think we're going to do well. And I think, Coach, that all these business people are listening on tonight. We need to close all the businesses down about Friday, about 12 o'clock, and, and to close the town down, we'll leave a couple of policemen in town here to, kind of roam the streets. And then the rest of us going to go into Eufaula and try to leave out, right after pep rally Friday.
That sounds good to me, because the more crowd you have there, the more you neutralize the fact that they have the home field advantage. So all the people from Optic we can get there, we'd like to have you. And we've got set as our goal a win for this Friday night, and I think all our young men want that so badly.
Coach, now you're working overtime now. You realize that, don't you? You've put your 10 weeks in. The season's supposed to be over with. And how does this feel now you're going on having to work a little extra? Are we going to get a big pay raise and things like that for this extra work?
I don't know, but I'm prepared to go to Christmas if they are.
Right now, Coach, practice is not, it's kind of enjoyable, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I told the boys that I'm not the maniac that I was for those other 10 weeks. We had the icing on the cake, and folks didn't believe it watch today, because we did have such hitting out there, but still, again, we're taking a little different approach. This is an icing. This is what you've worked for all year.
It's a little reward, isn't it, Coach?
Yes, it is.
I hear some of these college coaches always talking about we doing this as a reward. But, you still got to go out there and win, because that's what's the name of the game, isn't it?
That's right. But there's no reason you can't have a little fun.
That's right. I tell you what, I've had fun tonight. This has been fun. I tell you, there's a lot of... And old Mike Russell over there waving at me, and he's telling me not to forget something. It seems like that our assistant superintendent, I don't know what it's all about, but Mr. Robert Waller told Mike that him and Johnny D and Tony Pike would do something if we beat Andalusia, and Mike wants Mr. Waller to call in and tell what time and the date that they're going to do whatever it was.
I certainly think that'd be a good idea.
Well, maybe we can hear from that. Well, Coach, was there anything else Mike told us we need to say tonight? Mike's given us so much to do tonight.
He's changed things around. We're just not up on everything, but I think by next week, and he did say to tell everybody we would be back next week.
Oh, that's right. I knew there was something else. He said that he was prepared for this show to go on through December.
That's what he said. But we also need to remind the people out there tonight that they can get a ticket to this game if they won't get in advance for $4, but there's no difference. The adults are $4 tickets, and they'll be the same pregame or at the gate.
All right, and definitely now, I'd get your tickets. I believe you are. Do you know if I know that the high school, but are the drugstores and the banks
just
too?
At the high school, I believe.
All right, just at the high school. And I know that our secretaries down at the high school, they would love for you to come by and buy a ticket. Now, folks, we had a good time here tonight, and we're looking forward to a big crowd going to Eufaula, and we want everybody to drive slow now. And it's a 2-hour drive, so don't you get off work late and then try to drive fast, because we want everybody over there and have a safe trip there and back. Coach, I want to congratulate you again for Friday night. That was a great win. Everybody in the Ops having a ball right now, and we're looking forward to you, Fowler, and we wish y'all the best of luck Friday night.
Well, I certainly accept it on behalf of our football team.
Thank you a lot, Coach. And I tell you what, sports fans, you stay tuned because we'll be right back here next Tuesday night at the same time on Mike Russell's same radio TV station, that is. Good night. We'll see you next week.